What's up, creepers and kickers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the movie Loft. You know, it is no secret that I am a huge fan of the Terminator series. And apparently there's a new Terminator movie on the horizon. So I figured, what the hell? I don't normally do this kind of movie video. But let's talk about Terminator. Let's talk about what we know so far about this new movie coming out. And more importantly, what I, as a huge fan, would like to see. Now, first of all, when it comes to the Terminator movies, let me give you a little breakdown of my feelings on them all, okay? I am one of those weirdos, one of those rare cats that thinks the original is superior to them all. And not because it's the original, because on a technicality standpoint, T2 outshines it 100-fold. But the one thing about T2 that I don't like is it's a summer blockbuster. It was made for a general audience, even though it was rated R. It's polished and it's got great. It's a great action movie. Whereas the original movie was a lot more. It was an independent kind of deal, so it has that gritty, that commando kind of feel to the filmmaking. It was more than just an action. It was an action film. It had a little bit of noir to it. It was like a slasher flick. And it had a whole ton of techno-babble bullshit that didn't weigh down the story. Just the whole feel and the vibe of the original Terminator, to me, not only has never been duplicated, but it was just a better feel of a movie. I loved it. And the whole Arnie being a good guy in the second movie, once that was revealed, I know now it's not that big a deal, but believe it or not, back in, what was it, 91 T2 came out? I was still in high school. Went and seen it, and then you had the two Terminators, because they didn't tell you up front who was who. And then you finally realize Arnie was the good guy. Kind of bummed me out. Although, don't get me wrong, the T-1000 was a really cool concept. And I think he made for a better bad guy in that movie, so to speak. But I personally think T1 is the best. Now, you talk about 3 through 5. 3 it seemed like a rushed movie. Kind of another, let's try to do a T2. Great action sequences. And believe it or not, in the end, when they start seeing the bombs fly and the whole idea that it's inevitable no matter what, I thought that was it was great to finally see that actually happen. Again, feeling rushed. Salvation, finally in the war. We're right there in the middle of all the bullshit. And it was like a breath of fresh air. It was gritty. Yes, it was polished. It was a new movie. And it almost seemed like it was its own side thing. Almost like, what Star Wars is doing with the whole, side quests and side stories while doing their new trilogy. I think it's a very underrated movie. I really do. I think it's a great watch. It's not something I could watch over and over again like the original Terminator. But it's such a great movie. And, I think it's very underrated. Now, we'll get to Genesis. Genesis suffers from a couple of things, first and foremost. It suffers from that same blockbuster fun feel movie. I'll say these other movies are fun to watch, but they're not fun movies, so to speak. The original Terminator is not a fun movie. It's fun to watch, but it's dark. And I'm not saying the movie has to be dark to be good, but when you try to polish it with the and the good feelings, it just takes away from the heaviness of what is the subject here. I mean, we're talking about machines from the future taking over the world, and us mere little fucking biological creatures having to fight against this advanced technology. And you throw that summer blockbuster in the shoe polish all over it, wax on, wax off, and it just loses it for me. Now, I enjoyed Genesis, okay? I go into movies with realistic expectations. I'm still allowed to suspend my disbelief, and I'm not going to nitpick stupid shit and tell you it's a shitty movie. I went and saw it twice in the theaters, and I've watched it a number of times since it's been released for home viewing. It has its flaws, and of course you can sit there and pick apart the time travel bullshit left and right, and the concepts of it being an application and all this stuff. You know what? Aside from that date in the movie, 10, 20 years from now, it's still a fun movie. Seeing Arnold being a Terminator and then seeing him kind of flip what actually happened was a really cool idea. It was a great concept. I liked it a lot. I'm kind of upset that we're not getting the subsequent sequels to that. But I am excited that James Cameron's back, and I'm excited who they have for directing. So let's talk about this new movie, what we know so far, what I feel like I want to talk about. There's probably a lot more that we know so far, but what I want to talk about, and then what I really want to see out of a new Terminator trilogy, hopefully. I'm going to be all over the place here. I got a shitload of notes here that I want to write down, but I'm going to try to get through the basics of it right now, and then try not to jump all over the place and be too long-winded about what we're talking about here. James Cameron recently acquired the rights back to his Terminator franchise. And though he's busy with those stupid Avatar sequels, he wants to make 350 of those fucking things. I've never seen the original one. I have no desire to see it. Sorry, guys who like Avatar, but I think it's stupid to slot X amount of sequels before anything, you know? But he will be here as an executive producer, and he has gotten Tim Miller to direct the movie. Now, Tim Miller, my understanding, he does a lot of video game stuff. He directed the first Deadpool, and he knows what he's doing. I don't know his portfolio too well, but what little I have seen and read, apparently he's the right guy for the job. Now, James Cameron is not necessarily in the role of even writing the story, though I'm sure he's going to have a lot of input. But again, he's busy with a bunch of blue weirdos, okay? It seems like we got a good team already in the creative seats. James Cameron has also gone on to say, and I'm paraphrasing, that he wants to make it a direct sequel to T2 and ignore everything else because 3 through 5 was a bad dream, he says. So that's cool. As far as cast is concerned, we got Linda Hamilton back, and oh my God, does she look amazing. She's 61 years old. And I've seen some interviews with her in the past few years, mainly like Children of the Corn and stuff like that. And she's looked pretty rough. But she's looking great. It looks like she got back into shape or whatever. Maybe she quit smoking. Who knows? But she's back. There's also 2 other women. You got, let's see, who do we got? Mackenzie Davis. Mackenzie Davis, she's going to be our new lead. And then you have Natalia Reyes, who, and this is interesting. If you look at this picture, I'm sure I've posted it a few times, but I'll zoom in. It's rumored that she's going to be some kind of a cybernetic organism, some kind of robot, hybrid, human thing. And what's leading me to believe that is the markings on her skin. If you look, there's a lot of V's, almost triangular, and they're very reminiscent of the center line / V in the Cyberdyne Systems logo. So, I'm wondering if maybe she was a Terminator infiltrator or something like that. Reprogrammed, maybe gone rogue. I don't know, Johnny 5, that kind of deal. Maybe she got hit by lightning and now she wants more input. I don't know what's going on there. But it looks pretty cool. Gabriel Luna is the new supposed bad Terminator. He's definitely a Terminator. That's been confirmed. What side he's on, I'm hoping he's the bad guy because he's looking pretty fucking menacing in this. Apparently he was Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't watch TV, so who knows? Let's see, what else do we have here? What else are we going to talk about here? Direct sequel, I already talked about that. Arnold Schwarzenegger is confirmed to be on set. Apparently he just had some surgery, so he's recovering from that, but he's been in training. We don't know if he's going to actually be any kind of Terminator either. Again, there's rumors that he might be a human who the T-800 that we originally were introduced to was based off of. Now, I want to go on a side rant about T-800s and all that stuff. And people seem to think that all T-800s, including these filmmakers, that all T-800s have to fucking look like Arnold. Where in the original film, it was already established that they don't. There's a scene in Reese's head when he's sleeping of a T-800 infiltrating their underground deal, and dude don't look anything like Arnold. So that was the whole idea of the Terminator. I mean, if you see a whole bunch of people that look like Arnold, obviously there's a problem, right? That would be a horrible design. So I'm thinking they need to get rid of the whole Arnold Terminator thing. And, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to what I'd like to see. But I think it's interesting that we're talking about Arnold not even being a Terminator. There may be some CG thing of a younger looking Arnold as a Terminator in there somewhere. like we've seen in the past. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where we go with Arnold and all that crap. It's also being talked that now this might be an obvious. It may not be an obvious, but this one's going to be very AI heavy. It's the whole idea of Skynet. Now, is it even going to be Skynet? Who knows? May not be Skynet. May not be cybernetic systems. I would hope it was, especially judging the marks on that one chick's body. But who knows? The other thing that they're talking about is this, and I want to talk more about this in my what I want to see from it, is it's going to be more of a passing of the baton rather than the whole Linda Hamilton, John Connor, and all that crap. Everything we've seen 100,000 times before. So now that we've gotten past what I think is important to talk about, let's talk about what I really want to see in this movie. As I just mentioned it, let's talk about the passing of the baton. It almost seems like they want to do a whole passing the baton similar to The Force Awakens, but I hope they do it with a little bit more respect than Star Wars did. I'm not saying I didn't like the Star Wars movies, Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Again, I go into these movies with the right frame of mind. I'm not going to nitpick the stupid shit. I'm just going to sit and enjoy it and suspend my disbelief to enjoy a story in a fantasy world. I'm not going to tear it apart because of stupid shit. But I do honestly feel that some of the Star Wars characters were treated with a little disrespect, and I'll just leave it at that. So I hope the passing of the baton takes care of that. And it's already been, I guess, talked about that Mackenzie Davis, being the new lead, is basically going to be taking up the reins of this whole supposed new trilogy. So it'd be interesting to see how they do that. Maybe they're going to kill off Sarah Connor. There hasn't been any talks of John Connor being in the movie, although I believe he's a UK-based youth actor, has been seen on set with a similar haircut that John Connor had in T2. So maybe some flashbacks, maybe some time travel. Who knows? Either way, I know you'll probably puke all over it anyway because you want to put too much logic to these fantasy movies about time travel. It's actually not actually about time travel, but whatever. I want to see some new ideas. I want the original, what I call the Terminator Trinity, gone. Arnold Schwarzenegger, gone. I want to see Linda Hamilton, gone. Anyone, Edward Furlong, or anyone playing John Connor, I want that story gone. There's only so much you can fucking do with it. Pass that baton, get rid of that bullshit. The whole one Terminator has to come back, and then the other one has to come to protect. There's only so much you can do with it, and it does get stale. I'll give everyone that. Let's see. No more creative, new, updated fucking Terminators. You don't need that. The T800 and maybe some upgraded T900, the T1000 with the liquid metal is a little too much, but it was cool for what it was at the time. That was a new concept. So in T2 it works. But if you could just keep doing that, almost like in T3 it went backwards if you think about it with that chick Terminator, the Terminatrix, you know? I just want Terminators. I want humans and Terminators fighting. Whether there's some reprogrammed ones fighting for the good guys, or they're all fighting the bad guys and all that crap. I just want Terminators. I want a human outer skin with an endoskeleton inside, a neural net processor, and all that. I just want simple. I just want a machine trying to kill humans and humans trying to survive the war. You don't have to up the ante with some crazy, whatever, the fucking liquid metal, nanotechnology, magnetic, dookie, hickey, fucko crap with Terminators. So don't do that. I mean, it's already in production, so they're already rolling with this. So whatever they're doing, they've already started doing it. The war. I want this new trilogy to actually start the war. We got a taste of it in 3. We got a bigger taste of it in Salvation. But I want to see it elevated to that point. Maybe not necessarily kind of watch it happen. It would be cool to start the trilogy that way. You know, about two-thirds into the fucking movie. Maybe 2/4 of it, 3/4 of it. The war starts. It's all leading up to it. But if the war has already begun, I'd be happy with that as long as it's done correctly. But I want to see in the rest of the trilogy, if they do make the 3 movies, the war. I want to see the war. I want to see their defense grids fucking smashed to pieces. I want to see all that crap. I want to see the interaction between the hunter killers and all that technology. You can do so much with it if it's done right. I think now's the time to see the battle for our survival, and it would just be amazing. I want to see the tone of the movie different. Stop making T2. Stop fucking making T2. T2 was its thing for its time. It made a lot of money, and it continues to. They recently released it in theaters in limited numbers for a 3D special engagement, which I didn't get a chance to go see. But don't fucking make T2. And it almost sounds like in some of the conversations with Tim Miller and James Cameron that they are doing that. They're just all right. T2 was its thing. We're moving on from it. Thank Christ, I hope so. Because that goes with that whole trinity of the fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and anyone playing John Connor. Just new. I want a new feel for it. I don't want it to be a shiny blockbuster. I just want it to be a straightforward action movie with a little bit of dark tones. And again, it doesn't have to be like modern superhero dark tones like they did with like Superman and all that. Just, I want a good feel of a movie. Like the original Terminator had an amazing feel. The second one, I already talked about. So, fucking get rid of the whole T2. Pretend it doesn't exist except for in a storyline. Quit trying to fucking remake that and catch lightning in a bottle for the second time. Do not try to remake T2. Oh, I just said that, didn't I? I even fucking put it in capitals in its own thing, even though I was talking about the tone of the movie. That's how important that is to me. And no more Arnie as T800. Again, if there's a T800 here and there, I mean, it would make sense in the world of this. But like I said, it was established in the original movie that they didn't all look like Arnie. That would be a dumb strategic plan. Think about it. 200 fucking Arnold Schwarzeneggers all over the world? It's supposed to be an infiltration unit. You can't really infiltrate if Arnold Schwarzenegger's in this city or in this city at the same time and they're communicating and whatever. It's the future. They should be able to communicate that kind of crap pretty easily. So, regardless, I am excited. Right now, the working title is they're just calling it like T3 or something like that as a joke. But there's really no true name to it. So, some are speculating it's just going to be called Terminator. Almost like it's going to be a soft reboot. Just fucking make another movie, okay? For God's sakes. And if it reinvigorates the franchise, then great. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll go see it anyway. So, guys, what are your thoughts? Here comes the cynical bullshit. But honestly, what are your thoughts? What's your favorite Terminator movie? Go ahead and leave feedback down below on anything I just spoke of. Add to it, take away from it. I don't care. Because your opinion is just as important as long as it's clear. Guys, thanks as always so much for watching. Go ahead and leave your feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. Let me know what you think. You should be excited about this. If you're not excited about this, I don't know what to say. You're wrong. But guys, until next time, take care. Creep it real. Yes, the kids saw that and got me these socks, and I'm going to wear them. I don't care how goofy it would look on a grown man. I'm going to wear these. Let's see. I hook this on my hat. I hook this on my hat. Here, I'll do it on my Atari symbol. There we go. Hold on. Oh, fail. Oh, no, not a fail. Fucking stupid. All right, guys. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Keep it real. Until next time. Bye-bye.